So one last question. Understand that Paddy yourself is also an investor and handling multiple businesses. From various perspectives, how do you think one can market themselves in the downtime? Should they position themselves, taking conservative approach, cutting costs as such, or should they present a positive image that the businesses is affected?
Okay, I guess your question is probably referring more to if you are a business owner, right?
To the public, yeah.
Okay, to the public.
Social media posts, stuff like that.
Okay, I'm more of a straight shooter. What's interesting is that if you try to put on a fake front, okay, I know that in the startup ecosystem, in the business world, a lot of them say that fake it until you make it. Yeah, but the truth here is that everybody is suffering. I don't believe no one is actually suffering. But of course, there are some. They're probably because of the way they pivoted the business, or probably someone like me who always fly. But now I'm actually staying home, so my relationship with my kids are actually stronger. But I think that if you're on the business side, if you need help, you should actually shout for help. I came across too many of those that is like, okay, so why now then you come to us for help? You know, that kind of situation. It could actually save you much more money. So if you need help, I think it's okay to announce it, but of course you have to be smart enough not to review every single thing. You must be smart enough that you must know what kind of help you need. And sad to say, a lot of business owners, the first thing that they always look for is, I need help, I need money. That is probably the solutions to everything to a lot of business owner. Again, it's not wrong, but I think there are many ways of getting helps if you are not doing well. I think the first step to do is that you have to acknowledge that you need help and what kind of help. So you basically you need to identify your what, where, when, how, the kind of why. Just identify it properly and then just tell the word, because why? You are not the only one. So if you want to position yourself, if somehow you went a bit extreme, telling everybody that, hey, you're doing very well, everything is extremely fantastic, everything is rosy and everything, you're not the only one in social media. You're not the one who's listening. You have your other colleagues and everybody who are in the situation together with you. It was like, how in the world? I thought we are actually doing a retrenchment. How in the world is our company doing well? I think it just speak the truth. Tell everybody that, hey, I need help. What kind of help do I need? Don't be surprised. These are the kind of situations where you can actually bond better. This is also the kind of situation, the environment where you get better partners, you get stronger colleagues. I think this is how it works. So let's say, for example, sometime in April this year, just a couple of days before the pandemic actually happened, I was on a project. I was on a job, or rather on a project. Okay, to support a company, a health tech company in Hong Kong. So here's the thing: on the front, everything looks perfect, but the moment you enter, then you realize, actually there are actually a lot of things, much more things that no, it could have been better if you just be upfront. Whether are you the CEO, COO, anybody. If you had just been very upfront and said, guys, things are not doing well. Okay, we need this, and then we need to prioritize. And when that happens, I think it makes the direction very clear. It allows everybody to have an idea of, okay, so here's the thing. The company is not doing well because of various reasons, and pandemic is usually the number one top reason now. If it's not doing well, is there any other things that we can come in to help? So you'll be surprised that some of the colleagues that had been working with you for the longest time, you sort of stereotype that he or she actually is strong in this particular skill. But somehow, sometimes, in a certain crisis, okay, some people will just shine much better than others. I think the positioning is always, if you are doing good, great, okay, keep it to yourself, help others. But if you are not doing fantastically well, ask help. There is nothing, there's no shame for asking help. But of course, if you got your help, please do pay it forward. I think this is the way of helping, especially when everybody is suffering under this pandemic. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for the sharing. So, Craig, in the perspective of employer, when we talk about employer branding, how do you think employers should actually position themselves to potential hire staff like that?
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with Paddy. Be honest. That's the key thing. I think a bit of a running joke that I have with some of my recruitment friends is that you look at a lot of job adverts, particularly LinkedIn and the career sites around Asia or globally, I would say, written by recruiters. It's always an excellent, exciting, fantastic opportunity, which is a bit tedious. I think it's just lack of inspiration and lack of understanding clients, how the market businesses. But there's, I think, within that, obviously, it's a bit of a running joke between me and my friends, but the funny thing is that every business, if you ask a recruiter, is market leading as well. If you ask, I guess, a leader, that they do say that we're market leaders, we have an exciting opportunity. I think candidates are now seeing through that. I think a lot of people, when they're applying for jobs, a bit of fatigue in it as well, right? If every job opportunity is exciting, why do they need certain skill sets? If the business is a market leader and a high performer, why they're recruiting a transformation specialist or a sales director? I'm not saying, for example, go the opposite way and really sort of put everything out and air your dirty laundry on social media, but I think in the process, be more realistic. Certainly where we come in as well and can help sort of clients advise on their go-to-market strategy from a recruitment point of view, that whether they have a presence or not, I think it depends as well. That if they're a well-known household business, then I think people like, let's say, Apple, Google, Facebook, probably don't need any introduction when they're recruiting. But if it's a smaller business with 10, 15, 20 employees in Asia and not many people have heard of them, how do you present a business first and foremost? I think being quite objective around what they do, what the business is, what stage of growth they're at, it is the best way. But I guess typically you're hiring if they're growing anyway, right? So naturally you can talk about the positives and their plans and strategy. But I think if you're talking to people within the business, definitely being honest and transparent is the best way. It comes down to the word of mouth conversation that I would say that we referred to earlier in the conversation. If somebody 1 minute has a conversation, and it could be an appraisal, it could be just a casual Zoom coffee, for example, and the founder says, great, the business is doing really well, we're not going to make any cuts, we're all okay. And then the next Monday morning, there's a conversation of retrenchments or salary reductions. That's going to leave a bitter taste in the employee's mouth. Whether they're retrenched or not, or they're affected, I think if everybody puts themselves in their shoes, that 1 minute everything seems okay and the next minute it's not, you feel betrayed. I think naturally you would feel betrayed, and I guess starting to distrust the loyalty or the honesty of your seniors. So I think definitely as a manager, you've got to be saying, I mean, obviously be careful with what you want to share, but I would say, and I think having had conversations sort of directly with people in the same situation, if a company says, look, this is where we are struggling a little bit, we need to reduce salaries, this is our plan, we've got essentially 6 months of cash flow left at this level, people will use that information and make a decision themselves. I think some people, and stories I've heard of, is that people are not prepared to take a salary cut, and they will resign themselves anyway. If they feel the business is not for them, they feel the business is not going where they want it to go, but they're not prepared to dig in and support the business as a team, naturally they'll move on anyway, I think, and there'll be turnover. But I think other people that will maybe discuss it, they'll go home and chat with their spouse, their partners, and say, well, this is the situation. I really like the business. I believe after the pandemic, we were onto a good thing. We've got lots of projects, lots of exciting support. Can we live as a family, for example, with a reduced salary for 6 months? If it doesn't get better, let's take a call. But let me dig in, let me focus, and hopefully I'll be in a better position in 6 months' time. I've got a job, some income is better than no income, and I believe in the business, therefore I'll grow. And I think if a manager has that transparency and puts the decision in the employee's court, puts the ball in their court, then I think naturally everybody will be stronger. As a manager, obviously some people will leave, so therefore you've achieved your objective of saving some cash. But the people that are sticking around are the people that really want to stick around and are there to support your vision. So I definitely think that transparency is the best policy.
Thank you today for the very insightful sharing. Thank you, the speakers, for that.